I want to live in your old lady. I want to live in your old lady, I messaged the woman on Airbnb. I hope my phrasing might catch her attention amidst the booking requests, evoke a certain voluptuousness for life, a deep, deep need to stay in this very trailer on the beach. From the photos, the exterior was old lady enough, with its retro curves and pallid peach awning. But inside was a bare shell. The walls read whitewashed adobe, with recessed shelving in all the right places, those organic rounded touches that spoke to millennials, whispering, "In here, nothing hurts." It worked. I pictured myself coming in from a day at the beach, rinsing off and then slipping into crisp sheets, placing my glasses into the curved hole next to the bed. I couldn't wait to fill each shelf. When I arrived, I found Old Lady jammed into a trailer park. The woman kept the pavement and the other shining metal homes out of view in photos, as if Old Lady was off on her own. Inside, the trailer felt sonically different, like the entire space was encased in a soundproof foam. I knocked on the walls with my knuckles, and the plastic of the walls bounced back. I had to laugh. I wrote a letter of encouragement to myself there, tucked it into the kitchen drawer. My friend swears by this, catching yourself off guard in the reflective company of spoons. I spent the day at the beach forgetting, because going to the beach is like blacking out but blue. I walked, I sat in the waves, I slept. When I woke, I said out loud, "If we open me up, we'd find beaches," quoting Agnes Varda just to try it on. "Beaches so vast, there's no there." Varda, quoting Stein. The beach was nowhere, home free. A group of strangers walked closely by, and I realized I was playing the role again. A woman with a broken heart rebounding by the beach, my sun hat dipped to my chin, my palms up, receiving. It got dark. I trudged back to Old Lady, first picking up some sea things off the beach. I poured a plastic grocery bag full of sand onto the biggest shelf in the trailer, pushing the shells in. I slept poorly. In the dark, I got up without my glasses, walked over to the beach scene I'd made. I held a shell to my ear, thought the sound of the ocean would soothe me. The trailer so insulated I could have been anywhere. I couldn't hear a thing in that shell. I've heard more ocean inside a glass of champagne. The next morning, I decided to spend the rest of my stay on the beach. I wheeled my suitcase, towels, belongings all out onto the sand. A man in a sun chair looked at me as if to say, "You're going to bring all of that out here?" I smiled. I wore my underwear and t-shirt, because what else does a woman wear when she brings the inside out? To keep my phone and keys safe, I placed them in a large shell, shaded from the heat. I used a piece of driftwood as a lap desk, balancing my laptop on top of the wood on top of my knees. But then I had the idea to use the sand as a desk. My laptop was ancient anyhow, and pushing the black box into the sand, watching the grains barely bury it, was even more satisfying than putting a phone in rice. I stuck pens into the sand, sticking straight up for easy access. A hermit crab came over to investigate. I gave a pen to the hermit crab, watched it place a claw over it. Something to think of me by. Hermit crabs buzzed around a pile of trash near me. Soda, fish tins, empty cans of beans. I picked up the garbage into my plastic bag, drifted to sleep to its sad balloon shape. I woke in the night to a hermit crab using a mackerel tin as its shell. I never ran faster, heaving myself across the beach with the bag of trash, placing everything back like I'd found it. I spent the rest of the night on my phone, reading about the ecosystems of hermit crabs. How when they find a shell, they line up in shell-size order, get naked, and trade shells down the line. A hermit crab climbing into its new home resembles a woman sinking into a hot bath, a welcome stretching in and down. I tried calling out for crabs so I could lead them back to their tiny pile of homes. I waded in the ocean, looking for roomy shells to place near the pile of trash, giving them the natural option. I held a shell in one hand and a tin in the other, and thought about which I'd rather live inside. The shell was harder, safer, but the tin seemed better for the back. I couldn't sleep, thinking about the bare butts of crabs. When I dozed, I dreamt the crabs were writing me a eulogy for my current relationship. It took the whole family of crabs to hold the pen. The beach was no longer nowhere. It became home the minute I hauled myself into the sand, started caring for crabs. And then I started thinking about his lap. His crossed legs, bony but home. The way his dog was always resting there. I knew I couldn't ask to climb into his lap without him thinking kink. I left him the dog in his lap the whole time I was leaving. His dog in his lap reminded me of a memory, collecting tiny clams as a child into a bucket, taking with it sand and water, squatting there next to the bucket out on the balcony, seeing tiny soft-bodied creatures bobbing in each shell, realizing the shells were already home to those creatures, that me bringing them home displaced them, that no matter how hard I tried to dump them back where I found them, it was different ocean. That once displaced, you spend your whole life searching for home, placing your heart into another, then another, forcing the fit.